Hello, and welcome to my unboxing of my brand new Simucube 2 Pro wheelbase. I bought this unit from Tomo at Sim Racing Bay, and there's a few extra goodies that are thrown in here that you wouldn't get somewhere else. So without getting into too much of a long introduction, let's go ahead and start the unboxing. So the first thing that you'll notice is that it comes with two power supplies, and that's because the Simucube 2 Pro, unlike the Sport and Ultimate, actually requires two different power cables. Not a big deal if you're someone who lives near an outlet like I do, but something that you might need to think about. Something that Tomo includes is a motor mount, which is adjustable, which I won't be using as I'll be attaching it direct to my SimLab P1, but would be very useful if you don't have a rig like this with a front deck. Some of the other goodies that I got from Tomo include I believe this is a universal adapter, so I can mount my Zero Play quick release straight onto the hub of the Simucube 2. And this will be the Fanatec quick release adapter. This will allow me to use any of the original Fanatec wheels before the release of the McLaren rim. At that time, Fanatec started to use a new firmware which cannot be used on an OSW, but you'll see it's built to very high quality, very high tolerances. So this should be good if I ever want to try and test some of the original Fanatec wheels again. So something else that I forgot when I initially took all the stuff out the top is these motor mounts itself. So while this is what you would attach the motor to, this is what you'll actually use to get the right tilt that you want for a flat wheel deck. You'll see here it allows a full range of motion, unlike some other mounts that you'll see which have maybe 4 or 5 different angles that you can choose from. But all the hardware is provided, and it's a very good mount if you don't have a front mount like I do. But for now, I'm just going to put this aside since I'll have no further use for it. So the first thing I noticed about this unboxing is that compared to my original Simucube 1, which came in a much more primitive packaging, let's say, this is done very well. It's maybe not done as nicely as Fanatec has. Fanatec has really, worked on their packaging over the years, but you get a clear indication of what you bought over here. So here you can see the Pro. But on the back, there's some text very similar to what Fanatec would do as well. So let's go ahead and open this up. And the first thing I notice is that it also comes with a guide that seems to also be in several languages. That is awesome. I think that's something that you really need as a more professional company. But we're not here for a guide, we're here for the good stuff. Oh wow. 2 hefty power supply units. The one thing that I immediately have noticed is the length of these cables. So you'll probably have to keep them quite close to the motor, which is probably not going to be a big issue for me because again, it's going to be front mounted. So unlike the Simucube 2 Ultimate, which will come with a much nicer emergency stop, this emergency stop appears to be very similar to what I had before. In fact, it appears to be identical, if I'm looking at it correctly. The only thing that I see is slightly different is obviously the pin out on this end, which is obviously tailor-made for the Simucube 2. Let's go ahead and put this aside for now. What else do we have in here? We also have, okay, interesting. So inside the box, I have 2 European style adapters for the power supplies. So quickly, we'll just show you. However, what Tomo went ahead and did for me is included the American style adapters, which is very nice, and it means that I'm not going to have to use any converters or any adapters for this. So thank you, Tomo. Tomo proving why he's one of the best in the business. Where are my scissors gone? We got something in a small box over here. Aha, okay, well, something that's not going to be very useful for me personally. However, what we have here is the Simucube 2 quick release system. So, I've heard a lot about this, but I might do some minor testing, I don't think major, but we've got a whole set of bolts used for, I guess, attaching wheel units. One of the actual wheel side units, it looks like. And then I think this is the Simucube 2 hub. I'm not sure, to be honest, what all this stuff is, but I'll look in the manual later and figure it all out. All right, so let's get to the main part of this. Oh, that's a heavy boy. Oh, that's a heavy boy. I forgot how heavy these units are. It's been a while. So, I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to be putting any unnecessary pressure on the motor shaft itself. Don't want to scratch it at all. Which I've already scratched my table, but that's fine. No one cares about the table. Wow. My first impression is that this is very, very professionally done, especially when I compare it to the SC1 that's actually sitting behind me currently mounted. It's a very high quality enclosure on the wheel itself. And then if I look at the back, you're probably not going to be able to see from there, but I'll try and put a picture. You can see we have our 2 power supply inputs over here. We got what I think is going to be not used at the moment, but an accessory port for maybe pedals in the future. You have your USB and you have your emergency stop there. Awesome. All right, so let's just quickly go ahead and lay everything out. We also got this, which I'm hoping is a sticker. Yep, 2 stickers in fact, so these are going to go on my rig somewhere. But what did we have in total? 2 power supply units, an emergency stop button. I'm going to put the wiring somewhere else, but I'll leave that right there. 2 power supply cables. In my case, Tomo at Sim Racing Bay has very kindly given me the correct ones that I'm going to need. Then over here, it looks like this is what I'm going to use to mount my QR, my Zero Play HRS QR. And then additionally, again from Sim Racing Bay, both of these are from Sim Racing Bay, including that hub actually, the Fanatec QR adapter. And then you got your very handy manual over here. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and look at this more, because I need to figure out what I'm doing before I put it on my rig, but thanks for watching. Hopefully have some videos about the Simucube 2 coming up in the future, maybe some comparison videos where I'll take this, start with the Simucube 1, do some driving on that, and then go to this, or vice versa, we'll see. But yeah, hopefully some wheel reviews coming soon as well, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, ask me any questions about this if you've got any, and I'll be very happy to answer them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.